Rating math is not some shyster trick where they're totally effing you over. I'll explain it really quickly like this, okay? If you're watching this on YouTube, it's going to be a little easier to understand because you can look at me while I'm doing this. Your first rating is based on 100%. Okay. So it's basically learning how to like grade on a curve, if you will. Your first rating is based on 100%. They'll take your biggest one. So 50%. They're taking that out of 100%. 50% out of 100% is 50%. So they're taking it at face value, right? They're giving you that full one. It's 100% worth of this 50%. Everything from there on out is taking a percentage of the remainder. Okay, so the remainder of 50 is 50. They're taking, so your next one below 50 is 40. So I got 50 for PTSD. I got 40 for a massive TBI or something. That 40 is coming out of 50. So if you do 40 times 0.4 times 0.5, it is not going to be the same thing as 50%. The 40% loses a lot of its power, and then it gets added to 50%. Does that make sense? So 50%, 40% of 50%. Okay, so part of number one. So this is my first rating, PTSD. Part of PTSD is my next rating. My next rating takes part of that. So then you end up with a percent of that, and then you add those together, okay? And then that's your new percentage. So 0.4 of 50% is something like, let's call it 20%. So then you add that 20% to 50%, and now you're at 70%. And then you do it with the next one the same way. So then you got 10% for bad hearing and tinnitus and something else. That 10% of 70% is 7%. So then you add that 7 to 70, and now you have 77. Then you move on to the next one and the next one and the next one.